bare-faced, and excuse my fan noise in the background, girl. It is hot as fuck in LA right now. Anyway, moving on to my skin prep and foundation routine. So, where did I put that? So this is also part of my skincare routine, but I had to mention it in this video because I absolutely am in love with this product. It is the Tony Moly Wonder Honey Moisture Cream. So inside this bad boy is, oh, I can't read the ingredients, they're all in Korean, but bet you it's honey. But the scent is really what got me, just like, oh yes, it smells like honey applesauce. I want to eat it. That's, ooh. But this mixture has like a really like sticky texture to it. Like as you can see, that stickiness is what is going to help our makeup really adhere to the skin for a longer amount of time. And so far so good. This cyst on my nose that I got from milk allergy actually has been going down a lot quicker, and I don't know if it's because of this or because of my acne cream, which probably that. Next, I'm gonna use a low primers because I've got porous skin, so I'm going to add a little bit of this Innisfree No Sebum Blur Primer that Edward Avila got me in Korea. And right now I'm using my Morphe Beauty Blender to just melt that into the skin. So I don't use too much primer because it has silicone in it, which for acne prone skin is not good. So I don't like to use a bunch of it everywhere on my face, just focusing on my T-zone area where I'm more porous. So right here along my cheeks, like where I have some texture from my mustache, like on my forehead where I've got some lines. On to the main course, foundation. I like to have a couple different shades of foundation on deck. So I've got my Kryolan foundations, which are super pigmented and they're cream sticks in the color V23 and V24. I use V23 for shadow and I use V23 for highlight. Now I used to only use this, but I went to DragCon, as some of you may know, and I got a bunch of Morphe stuff. So I'm definitely gonna be getting more of these Morphe concealers. But before we get into all of that, I'm gonna use my cream contour kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And taking a G6 Morphe brush, I'm just going to color correct my beard. Now time to mix the foundation. So using Caramel, I'm just going to highlight Cupid's bow, a dot on the chin, really concentrate it under my eye. Bring it on the middle of my forehead, down my nose bridge a little, and I'm going to reverse contour just a little bit underneath my cheekbone area. I am going to use the color V23 to contour all the way down the chin, really accentuating the V of my chin. I'm trying to draw my chin smaller, so I want to cut it off, as one might say. And with my highlight color V24, I'm just going to cover my mustache. Now I'm a blend, bitch. Ooh, you hear that? I've got air in my eyeball. I blend this reverse contour down while keeping that line sharp. Now to blend the shadows. Now this line is going to be sharp, but we're going to blend it down eventually. Now using the same booty blender, I'm just going to dip into this and to set my face. Now I like to use a moist beauty blender for this because it really melts that powder into the skin. Especially if you greasy like me, this will save your life. And this is Face and Body Powder Anti-Shine from Kryolan. Now I'm going to contour using a dark brown powder, and this is Ben Nye's Luxury Powder in the color Dark Cocoa. Now we just gonna let this bake and move on to the eye makeup. Alright sweeties, we're gonna take our little palette and I'm gonna just dip into the lightest color to use it as a wash all over my lids, so that way I get a nice even and pigmented application on my eye. Normally I would use primer, but my eyes are a little dry right now, so I just use that moisturizer that I showed y'all at the beginning of this video and put that on, and it adheres pretty well, as you can see. Besides, my lids need the moisture after putting all this powder on my eyes every day. So next we're gonna hop into my Sugar Pill Pro palette. I'm gonna use this pink color right here as a blending color. Now y'all may be like, oh, that's too pigmented, but shut up. I know what I'm doing. Y'all wanted the look, you gonna get the look. So just make sure to use a light hand. When did purple get on my hand? Oh my god. And taking this light peach color, we're gonna use this and blend it as well. Okay, y'all see that? Now we're gonna take this, what do y'all wanna call that? Like burnt orange, light brown, tan, whatever. We're just gonna place this in the inner V of our eye. I'm gonna go back in with this peach colored apricot, whatever the hell. I'm gonna blend that mess out. Right now we are gonna highlight the middle of our eye with the Sugar Pill Feline Fancy eyeshadow palette. We're gonna dip into Swack, which is like one of my favorite colors from this palette. A very iridescent pink. And we're gonna place it on the center of our eye. Why do I keep fucking closing this goddamn thing? Open, bitch. It fucking broke, whatever. Anyway, we're just going to place it in the middle of our eye. You see that? All of you see that out there? Now we're gonna blend it out, honey. Use that brown again. Now to highlight the inner corners, I'm gonna go back to the Sugar Pill palette I used before and use the color Wink. Now this mess is super pigmented, so be careful, bitch. So I just mixed Swack with Wink, and I'm about to go back in with Wink again and really make sure that mess is blended. I'm gonna go back in with Wink and I'm going to highlight the brow bone. Just a little bit. Now on the waterline, I'm going to use my OCC white pencil. And going back to the Sugar Pill Pro palette, I'm going to use the lavender color right here. I'm surprised because normally light purple I feel like would look super ashy on me, but this is like excellent. And I'm just going to use the purple as a shadow right underneath the waterline. And I'm gonna blend that out a little bit. Now let's hop into this liner. Oh, it's gonna be messy because this is always the difficult part to film. I'm using the Stila liner. It's like one of my favorite liners ever, but it costs like $20, so I'm like, line super close to my lash line. And then when I'm coming to the edge, I like look up like this. And I just kind of, I've started doing this thing where I like draw the line up. And then I extend the inner corner of my eye. For a finishing touch, I'm going to use the Face It Styling Twinkle Dual Eyeliner in the color Tear White. And I'm going to use this on the inner corners. And bring it to the center of the eye. So now I'm applying mascara to the situation. I'm using Tarte's Tartiest Mascara. What's up with tart and tartedness? Tarty McTartyson. Hello, it's me, Kermit. Tarty. I feel like I could just go for a little walk. Now I'm gonna hit my eyes with some lashes, and I'm going to use the Lena lashes in the style Dima. Ooh, so pretty, yes. Now these lashes, as you can see, are thick as hell. They are nice glam lashes. Gotta make sure that you don't get lint in them like I do. Really, even if my makeup isn't popping, these lashes will always make it look like I did something special. They're just the cherry on top of the metaphorical milkshake. I can't actually drink the milkshake because I'm highly allergic, but the cherry is always nice. I push them up a little bit just to really shape it while it's drying on my eye. You see what I mean? And going back to my eyeliner, I'm just going to shade and make sure that glue isn't super shiny on my lash line. I don't think the shading on my outer V is dark enough, so I'm going to go in with my Morphe 35OM palette, and I'm just going to I'm going to go ahead and do this one, see if that changes anything. Oh yeah, that makes a huge difference. I hate my life. Now onto the brows. Just gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. Gonna dip into that with my spoolie / angle brush, and I'm going to comb my brow hairs upwards, just in their natural position, their natural state. And I'm going to draw a straight line. I'm just gonna follow the natural shape of my brow and extend the tail out just the tiniest bit. Now that's done, I'm going to draw in the rest of my brow hairs with my brown liner. Now this will make for a more natural looking brow. Now using this MAC shading brush in 215 in the Tartelette palette, I'm going to take the brown called Dreamer and just use it as a contour down my nose bridge. She looks light, but then I put her on my skin and whoa. And last for the eyes, I'm going to use this Brow Lash Neo that is from Japan, I believe. Y'all can Google this or put it on Amazon or search for it on Amazon, but I don't think you're going to find this in any drugstore. And I'm just going to put this on my bottom lashes. Now, I actually fell in love with this mascara. I hadn't used it for a long time, and then I used it and I was like, oh my god, it's so good at just separating the lashes and lengthening them. Now it's time to blend everything out, so I'm just going to use this so Obsessive Cosmetics. I'm gonna just use this fluffy brush. I'm just gonna blend. And I'm gonna use this Morphe MB33 like wide fan brush to blend out all the shadows on my face. I'm blending the contour up this way because I don't want to blend out that line too much. You know, really cut my cheeks. So using this angle brush from Morphe in MB35, I'm gonna dip back into this pigmented ass pink. Just once is fine. I'm just going to put this on the apples of my cheek. I'm gonna blend up. This stuff is super pigmented, so a little goes a long way. And for highlight, I'm gonna go back into the Feline Fancy palette and use Wink. A little goes a long way with this as well. And I'm gonna just tap. Ooh, y'all see that? Already so much. And use just a teensy bit on my nose bridge. I'm going to use a little bit on the ball here on my nose. Now for the lips, I'm just going to use OCC's Brown Liner in Sybil. I'm going to overline like crazy. And y'all will see right now here on this day. Now I like to go in with Dose of Colors in Chocolate Wasted and add it to the corners of my lips to create diminution. Kind of bring it up a little bit to the top. And a little bit on the bottom. And to finish it off, I go in with OCC's Lip Tar Liquid Lipstick in Working Girl. And we done. So if you guys like this tutorial, just make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, whatever, you still clicked on the video and you still watched it anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, it has been me, Miles J, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye!